എല്ലാവർക്കും നമസ്കാരം. മെൻസ്ട്രൽ ഹൈജീൻ ഡേയുമായി ബന്ധപ്പെട്ട് മൈത്രി നടത്തുന്ന മെൻസ്ട്രൽ ഹൈജീൻ ഡേ ടോക്ക് ആൻഡ് ഡിസ്കഷനിലേക്ക് എല്ലാവർക്കും സ്വാഗതം. അപ്പൊ ഇന്ന് നമ്മുടെ ഈ ഡിസ്കഷൻ ലീഡ് ചെയ്യാനായിട്ട് ഇവിടെ ഉള്ളത് അമൽ ഫാത്തിമയാണ്. അപ്പൊ അമൽ, വെൽക്കം. അപ്പോൾ നമ്മൾ ഡിസ്കഷനിലേക്ക് പോകുന്നതിന് മുൻപ് മെൻസ്ട്രൽ ഹൈജീൻ ഡേയെ പറ്റിയും പിന്നെ ടോക്ക് എന്തിനെ പറ്റി ആയിരിക്കും എന്ന് ഞാനൊരു ചെറിയ ഇൻട്രൊഡക്ഷൻ പോലെ തരാം. സോ 2014 വാഷ് യുണൈറ്റഡ് എന്ന് പറയുന്ന ഒരു ജർമ്മൻ NGO ആണ് മെൻസ്ട്രൽ ഹൈജീൻ ഡേ ആചരിച്ചു തുടങ്ങിയത്. അപ്പൊ അതിന്റെ പുറകിലെ റീസൺ എന്താന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ മെൻസ്ട്രൽ ഹൈജീനെ പറ്റിയുള്ള അവബോധം ആളുകളിൽ എത്തിക്കുക, അതേപോലെ മെൻസ്ട്രൽ പ്രോഡക്ട്സിന്റെ ഉപയോഗം ആളുകൾക്ക് അതിനെ പറ്റിയുള്ള കാര്യങ്ങൾ പറഞ്ഞു കൊടുക്കുക, അത് എത്താത്ത ആളുകളിലേക്ക് അത് എത്തിക്കാനുള്ള ശ്രമം നടത്തുക എന്നുകൂടി കരുതിയിട്ടാണ് ഈ ഡേ ഇങ്ങനെ ആചരിച്ചു തുടങ്ങിയത്. അപ്പോൾ ഇപ്പൊ ഇന്നത്തെ ദിവസത്തിന് ഒരു പ്രത്യേകത കൂടിയുണ്ട്. അതായത് ഇന്ന് 28 മെയ് ആണ്, 28/5 ആണ്. അപ്പൊ ആ ഡേ തന്നെ ഇതിനെ തിരഞ്ഞെടുക്കാൻ കാരണം 28 ദിനങ്ങളുള്ള ഒരു പീരിയഡ് സൈക്കിളും 5 days ഉള്ള ഒരു പീരിയഡുമാണ് ആവറേജ് ആയിട്ട് വരുന്നത്. സോ അങ്ങനെയാണ് ഈ ഡേറ്റും കൂടെ തിരഞ്ഞെടുക്കാൻ കാരണം. അപ്പോ അതാണ് മെൻസ്ട്രൽ ഹൈജീൻ ഡേയുടെ പുറകിലുള്ള കാര്യം. പിന്നെ വേറൊരു കാര്യം എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ ഇപ്പോൾ ലോകത്ത് ഇന്ന് 500 മില്യൺ സ്ത്രീകളാണ് പീരിയഡ് പോവർട്ടി അനുഭവിക്കുന്നത്, മെൻസ്ട്രൽ പ്രോഡക്ട്സ് ആക്സസ് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റാതെ. അപ്പൊ അതിനുള്ളൊരു പ്രധാന കാരണം എക്കണോമിക് ഉണ്ട്, സോഷ്യൽ ഉണ്ട്. അതിന്റെ കൂടെ തന്നെ ഉള്ളത് മെൻസ്ട്രേഷനെ ഒരു വിമൻസ് ഇഷ്യൂ മാത്രമായിട്ട് കാണുന്നത് കൊണ്ടാണ്. അതൊരിക്കലും ഒരു വിമൻസ് ഇഷ്യൂ മാത്രമല്ല, വിമനായിട്ട് ഐഡന്റിഫൈ ചെയ്യാത്ത ആൾക്കാരുടെ കൂടി ഇഷ്യൂ ആണ്. അതേപോലെ തന്നെ ഒരു ഹ്യൂമൻ ഇഷ്യൂ കൂടിയാണ്, ബിക്കോസ് ഹ്യൂമൻ റേസിന്റെ തന്നെ കാര്യമാണ്. സോ അതൊരു ഹ്യൂമൻ ഇഷ്യൂ കൂടിയാണ്. ആൻഡ് അതുകൊണ്ടാണ് ഈ കാര്യത്തിന് ഇത്ര നെസസറി ആയിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു കാര്യത്തിന് അതിനാവശ്യമുള്ള അത്ര ശ്രദ്ധ കിട്ടാതെ പോകുന്നത്. അപ്പോൾ അതൊക്കെ അഡ്രസ് ചെയ്യാണ് ഈ ഡേ കൊണ്ട് ഉദ്ദേശിക്കുന്നത്. അപ്പൊ ഇനി അമൽ ഡിസ്കഷൻ കണ്ടിന്യൂ ചെയ്യും. അതോടൊപ്പം തന്നെ മെൻസ്ട്രൽ കപ്സിനെ പറ്റിയും അമൽ സംസാരിക്കുന്നതായിരിക്കും. അപ്പോ വെൽക്കം അമൽ, ആൻഡ് ഓവർ ടു യു.
So we'll start. A very good evening to one and all. And I'll just start by saying I'm Amal, and ഞാൻ കഴിഞ്ഞ വർഷം DU-ലായിരുന്നു, DRC-ലായിരുന്നു, and കഴിഞ്ഞ വർഷം ഓൺലൈൻ ഫെയറിലൊക്കെ കിട്ടി ഞാൻ ഗ്രാജുവേഷൻ കഴിഞ്ഞു. ഇപ്പം MSc വൈൽഡ് ലൈഫ് സയൻസ് പഠിച്ചുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുകയാണ്. So today is Menstrual Hygiene Day. And I will be mainly focusing on menstrual hygiene products. So first of all, I have to say that ഞാൻ ഒരു like professional alla, so I'm mainly going to focus on menstrual cups. കാരണം this is what I use, and ഞാൻ 2 വർഷം യൂസ് ചെയ്യുന്നത്. So I will be trying to tell you why it's a better option. I'm not going to force you. I mean, it's obviously your choice. And I just go through what a cup is and its benefits and all what you would like to know about it. And possibly after the session, we guys can have a talk, question and answer section on what you want to know, and hopefully I'll answer to best of my knowledge. So this is how a menstrual cup looks. This is a size small one, and it's mainly made up of silicone, medical grade silicone, and it is like also made like it comes in rubber and plastic and all, but I think the most safest option is to take a medical grade silicone. It's also most comfortable when you wear it, and it's like really flexible also. And this is inserted into your vagina when you're on your periods. So even in between also, if you guys can have any doubt, you can like feel free to like ask me. So this is a menstrual cup, and you put it inside your vagina, and it kind of fits in there, and it collects blood. So I'll just talk about the benefits. So first of all, it's really comfortable. Like I have been using it for 2 years, and I've also talked to a lot of my friends who have been using it, and they say like most people don't understand that you have it inside you. And if you have actually kept this menstrual cup in a correct position, you generally won't understand like if it's inside you, because it's that comfortable. And the other benefit is you don't have like soggy, wet pads. I'm going to generally use pads over here, I think, because most of us use pads. I mean, you use pads other than tampons. So we won't have like daily soggy pads, and which also decreases the possibility of rashes, or all the itching won't be there. And mostly menstrual cup starts smelling bad when it is exposed to air. That is why the pads smell bad. But in this case, it's inside the vaginal canal itself, so it doesn't smell bad. So that is also a good benefit. The leaking is minimal. Like a lot of studies have, I have also faced leaking in the starting stages. Like I think the first 2 3 trials, until we get comfortable with it will be like like it's safer to wear pads or extra liners until we get to know how to properly insert it and how we're comfortable with it. But in most cases, like the leakage is not a worry. Like, and it is because it's inside. You don't also feel comfortable walking, uncomfortable walking. You barely fare it inside. Like many people don't even understand their own their periods, and like you can swim, you can run, you can do anything with this inside, and it's quite comfortable. This is budget friendly because most menstrual cups in India itself come in the range of 300 to 500 rupees. I mean, the really good ones, like 500 are in that range it comes. And well, we all know like the menstrual pads almost like cost 200 per month, and it has to also be like continuously brought. And then even like just checking on annual basis, it's like a lot of money. And so this makes it like a lot easier. Like it's very economical, and you don't have to keep on like constantly worrying about like next period, okay, do I have a pad or should I go buy one? So it's much more easier. Then there is this thing about body confidence. I think a lot of us could be with the overall lack of sexual education, sex education, or knowledge and all. Most of us find it difficult to find our vaginas, or most of us like still find it difficult to know that like this is how a vagina is, or this is where the vagina is placed. So actually, when we had pads, we never had to worry about it. It was just like there. But over now, like we explore our body, we actually get to know more about our body in this case. Then, because it's silicone, the reaction is very low. But in the case of pads and tampons and all, there's a lot of other things like people, I mean, especially because of the order-related issues, fragrance-related issues, people, I mean, in the companies and all, when they make it, they add a lot of things which prevent. Then we have a time period up to 12 hours. I mean, you can wear it to up to 12 hours, which is a huge benefit. Like when we're wearing pads, we keep on like constantly checking, is it full, is it leaking? And or if you have changed in 4 hours, or it depends on our period flow also, if you have to have multiple pads. But in this case, like even if you mostly keep it for 12 hours, it rarely gets full. But that depends on people and what kind of like flow they have. So even if you have a heavy flow, you can like just after 4 hours, or when you usually go to the bathroom, just throw it. But generally, like, you can wear it for 12 hours, and it generally does not get full for most people. Then it is sustainable because this is like 6 to 10 years you can use it. Even I have a lot of professors and like, who have been like talking about this. They said they have been using it for more than 4 years now. It is still good, and the chance of breakage of this is also very low. It really break like if you constantly pressurize it or fold it too hard. And this is like very environmental friendly because pads take almost 500 to 800 years to decompose, and also with a lot of other consequences of its disposal. And it just like most of the pads and like menstrual hygiene waste, they just get filled up in landfills and all. So it's like this prevents all that. Like it's you don't have wastage. You just have to like remove the blood, flush it, and then again insert it back in. So there's like no wastage for at least, I mean, if you're how long you want to, like 10 years or almost for that long, you don't have to worry about it. So it's like, and this also, it's even the silicone is recyclable. So it's like a really good environmental benefit. The other thing is it does not dry the vagina, but that is more in the reference of tampons, because you're inserting the tampons and the cotton absorbs all the blood, and that makes the vagina dry. And your vagina has a lot of vaginal flora, vaginal, like mostly lactobacillus bacteria, which actually preserve preserve your vagina's health and its cleanness and a lot of stuff. And so, because this is still moist, it doesn't affect that. Then these are like the basic processes on how we should utilize, wear it. So it's like first you have to wash your hands, obviously, and then you have to sterilize the cup. So for sterilizing the cup, this is like because it's made of silicone, you can just boil it. You can just like even the first time after you buy it, just like put it in a patra, a vessel, and like boil it. Just add water, submerge it, and boil it. Like keep it for 10 minutes, and then remove it and dry it. So that is how you sterilize it. You have to sterilize it before and after the periods. And then you have to insert it inside, and then you can keep it for almost 12 hours. And then you can like take it out and then wash it, just rinse it and keep it. I just explained more. So this is the same thing over here, like sanitize and all. Here, this is like now to fold the cup, like we wonder like our vaginas are small, or how do we insert something so big? This looks big inside that tiny place. So first of all, our vaginas are stretchable. Like we give birth through that place, so it can actually expand to a really large space. So this thing can easily fit in, and but we have a problem with the opening. So generally, most people use it two folding methods. Like we all keep on changing different folding methods. I itself sometimes alternate between punch down. This is like a punch down, like you just hold the cup and then you from one side you take it down and you punch it down. So this is like a tiny cup, a tiny opening over here, I mean tiny head. So it's easier for us to like insert it, and it will be inside, and you, like once it's inside, it will pop up like this, like it's inside, it just directly pops up and you hear the pop sound. So at that time you know it's actually properly in the place, and this stem part of it will be outside for you to easily take it out, or for other purpose also you will feel this thing, so in case you get scared it's getting inside or something. So it's like either it's a punch down, I mean there are other methods also, but I think the most common and most easy methods are this one, like this heading, and there is like this is a C, like a C or a U cup. So you directly just like insert this whole thing inside and wait for it to like pop it up from there. You hear the pop sound. So this is how you like insert it into your vagina. Then you can keep it for 6 to 12 hours. Then when removing the cup, like when it's inside the vagina, you have the ridges over here after the stem. You kind of press the ridges, and when you press the ridges, the pressure breaks. Like it wasn't a suction, so the pressure breaks, and you would like slowly, like gently, don't take it out like fast. Something it hurts gently. Sometimes when you get scared, you feel like it's stuck, it's not coming out. So you just have to like relax your muscles, be calm, and just like press it inside, remove the suction, and then pull it out until it come out. And that is how you do it. And you just like in between, just in the washroom, just throw it in the flush it off or drain it. Just like give it a wash with the water and reinsert it back, like fold it and reinsert it back. And then again, like go on with your duties or whatever you want to do. And after the cup is over, remember to sterilize it again. And then generally cups come in these kind of packets, like really cute ones. And they also come in a lot of containers. So you generally have a container to keep the pads in. Just like keep it aside until your next period comes. Now, a common question is how to choose size. So this is a small one. There is bigger ones. There's like medium and large size. It depends on actually company to company. Some have like just A, B markings, but I think the Serona cup and all has S, small, medium, and large. So for what I could gather is most people who are below 20 years and who hasn't given a childbirth, it's like vaginal childbirth, can use a small cup. Who are like teenagers and all, this cup will be more than sufficient. It also depends if you're like active in sex, actively having sexual intercourse, like vaginal penetration, then a medium size would be better. But if you had a childbirth, also, I mean, it also like depends on a lot of factors, like your cervix length. You can also measure your cervix by putting your finger in And I think when you buy the company, you just like keep on looking at what they say their size is. That is a very important factor. But most people, it is like age is also a factor. Like 30 below can use a small or a medium cup. Also depends on your period flow, like how much flow you have. But the most important factor is maybe I think for most people, small is of our age. I believe like if my audience is around 20 or 18 to 24 age and all, I think small would be a really good one, a good size to start. There is a chance you might not get the perfect size, and like you could find a size which actually fits you comfortable. That's the most important thing. The rest, like the period flow and all that, you just have to like change it more often if you have a heavier flow. So this is like a 15 ml. Like there is measurements on this, so you can actually see how much blood you lost. I actually found it interesting. I was like, okay, I lost 10 ml of blood today, or I know it might sound gross to some people, but I found it really nice. And I'm just putting this over here because a lot of my friends also, I mean, who I was around with, were I think a lot of people still do not understand that we women have 3 holes. So I'm just like putting this diagram over here. I think you can see my cursor, right? I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm just putting here. This one is urethra, like where you pee, and this is your hymen, and this is your vagina, vaginal canal, and this is where you insert your menstrual cup in, and this is where your period blood comes in, and this is the anal hole. So over here is the uterus. You have a cervix over here, and this line, this much you have vaginal canal. So it's kind of big. You can like easily fit in this. And the hymen is in the starting of the vaginal canal, and cervix is the like the closed part of the uterus. Like you can't go beyond the cervix. Like the cervix only opens during your menstruation or when you are like giving birth and all. It's a very tiny hole, the cervix. Okay, I'm telling this because like some people might be afraid, like if you're having this and you are wearing it inside and you are like, I don't know, having heavy exercises, will the blood flow back in? So this is to say it doesn't go back beyond the cervix. First of all, because the uterus is continuously contracting to make the blood go down, so the possibility is like really, really low. Then this is to show you our basic female anatomy. I think for a lot of women also, it's difficult to actually look down there, to be frank, and find out all this. So I'm gonna tell this, like this is like the clitoris and all. I'm just telling this is the uterus, this is where you pee, and this is your vaginal opening. It's below the uterus, it's quite long, and you can kind of find it, like you can insert your finger and you can kind of find it quite easily, I believe. And this is where this guy goes in. And now I think a lot of people have this fear, like will you lose your virginity when you put this in? So I'm going to talk, I think for the people whose definition of virginity is that the hymen is breaking, or the hymen is the fear of the hymen breaking, then I'll tell you that hymen, like on the opening of your vagina, it's a small tissue and it's not closed, it's always open. I mean, from if it is closed, it's a medical condition. Over here I have a diagram, and this is the hymen case in which the hymen is closed. But in this case, like the period blood actually accumulates, and it's a very harmful condition, and people have to actually cut the hymen to let the period blood out. So if you are a woman, if you are a person who is menstruating, then you hymen will have holes large enough to anyways release the blood. So, and your hymen is stretchable, like you can, it's actually, yeah, it's not a closed thing where you pop it and it breaks. It's actually a stretchable kind of tissues where it can get bit large and it cannot also. And it has different types of holes also. Some have like one major big hole in the middle. There's like different types of hymens, like just some of it, which I have shown here in this diagram. So if your virginity fear is like your hymen might break, there is a possibility it will like break a bit because you're inserting something in, but it can also break in other when you're like like riding a cycle, or if you're horse riding, or if you're having heavy movements. So I don't think you have to fear. And then virginity is, I think, an act of sex, and I also believe it's a social construct, but that is your view. But then, no, your menstrual cups won't take away your virginity, and it might, like very rare cases, break your hymen. Not break your hymen, like bit, maybe a bit. It might bleed a bit when it touches the tissues. So you don't have to worry about that. Now I would like, especially before this session was held, I talked to a lot of my friends, like what difficulties they faced during menstruation, or like inserting the menstrual cup. And so I think most of them told it's really comfortable now, but the first few period cycles are going to be a little difficult, like until, if you're all new to this, like how to insert this, or how does it feel inside, or is it correctly stuck? Like generally when it is stuck properly, it's held in place, and when you like pull it, you will feel the suction, like the actual, you'll feel the pressure, like it will be there in that place. So I think it'll take like 2-3 period cycles to figure it out completely. Till then, you can like add in a panty liner, or you can wear a pad in case you're afraid. And it can be painful the first few times. Like I think it is, in my opinion, it is better to try it during your periods, because your lubrication is already there, so it's not too dry. So when you're like doing a normal day, it might be dry, and then you will find it difficult to insert it, and you might be scared to try it again. So I think it's best to try it on your periods, so it will be like lubricated, and then you'll be able to like insert it easily. Then it is like people have fear, will this thing, like, because once it's inside properly, you can barely see it. Like when you put a finger in, you will feel this thing, the tail, the tip, but sometimes you feel like, if I walk, will it go inside, or anything like that happening. So that is why like this diagram was there, because this cervix won't let anyone go up. So you only have this opening. So it's like, anyways, will have to come out through that way. So it won't go inside. You just have to like be calm, be relaxed. Yes, even I was afraid, like, will it go to inside and all, but it didn't. And I've been using it for 2 years. So it will be outside, and it will be like, just relax, or like sit in a position. Also, while inserting, people try different positions, like maybe with one leg up, or when they're laying down in their bed, or maybe in the washroom. So I think it depends on personal comfort, or it's like take a few time to figure out how to insert this. To be frank, uh, your cramps won't be increasing. It will be the same. Like this won't affect your cramp. If you're having severe cramps, I think it's just going to be there. But you will be much more comfortable. You don't have to feel anything wet and soggy down there. So it's going to be a lot more comfortable to wear this. And even I, some days, given to, I know this is like really comfortable. On days when I have like severe cramps or severe pain, I don't use it, because I don't like want to like get out of the bed, or just put the effort to like even insert it in some days. So even that can also happen. Even one of my friends, she said like inserting in it is difficult for her when her cramps are high. So she wears periods on that day, and the rest of days when she is comfortable, she uses it. So I think it depends a lot on how you're comfortable with it, and how you like it and all. Uh, and yeah, you can wear it and you can pee it, because just like I told, this is the way you put it is a different hole, and where the way you pee is a different hole. So this won't come out also when you're peeing or doing anything, even shitting. So this will like stay in there. Now this is for the people who have a fear of using menstrual cup. I mean, still a lot of people will be scared about how, like, where will this thing go? Like, how am I supposed to like put something inside me? And all this fear is there for a lot of people. Or some people might have the medical conditions which prevent them from using a menstrual cup. So I'm just like want to talk a bit about cloth pads. I haven't personally used it, but then when I attended sessions, like when I was in college, so I have like seen it. Like the educator over there used to like bring it. So that's how I came to know about this. I just want to say this is like a reusable pad, generally made up of cotton. I mean, even before all this plastics came, we used to use clothes. Cotton cloth was used in most of our households. So it's just like made up of cotton, bamboo, and it has like it can actually fit in your panty. Like it has a button, so you can fix it in your panty. You just have to like rinse it, soak it for some time, wash it like normal clothes, and just dry it, and then again reuse it. So this can like last for 5 years. So this is kind of a better option. I mean, ecologically better option, environmentally better option than cup. I mean, plastic sanitary napkins. So if you guys have any doubt.
താങ്ക് യു അമൽ. അപ്പോൾ നമുക്ക് കുറച്ച് ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻസ് ഇൻസ്റ്റഗ്രാമിൽ നമ്മളൊരു Q&A ഇട്ടതിൽ നിന്ന് കുറച്ച് ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻസ് കിട്ടിയിട്ടുണ്ട്. അപ്പോൾ ആദ്യത്തെ ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ ഇസ്, can we exercise during our period?
Can we exercise during our periods? Wearing this or on general? I think okay.
General and
okay. On general, I used to be this really lazy person who was like, I don't want to exercise or I want exercise. I'm going to tell on based on my experience and also my friends, because I'm not going to claim I'm a professional or anything. So I'm just going to keep it there. So actually exercising helps your periods a lot, like abdominal, even like ab workouts, or if you're like even moving around instead of, I mean, it depends on people. Some people can't get out of the bed. Even I have those days, but exercising on a period, in my opinion, is like really helpful. Also, there are kind of lot of exercises and yogas available online also on what you have to do, and it makes your periods really good. Am I on two screens?
No.
Okay,
not
I was like my laptop screen is also on. Yeah, okay, so that is just, and even I have a lot of friends also who said their abdominal cramps have like, the cramps have got much better after they started exercising. Like you're healthier, and it makes sense actually.
Okay, so that is the first question. And second question is, are there any chance of getting an infection when using a menstrual cup?
Okay, yeah, I forgot to say that menstrual cup. Okay, this is also on the research I read online, and also a lot of people, doctors and all. Even I have like talked to gynecologists also before using it. Like my cousins also like gynecologists, so they've also tell that like I can't completely say there is no chance of infection, but that is like very, very minimal. That also depends on people. But if you are like hygienic, keeping it on proper hygiene, maintaining it, sterilizing it cleanly, and like continuously using it, the chance of it is like very low. And it is, I mean, comparing it to your normal pads and tampons, it's really, really low. Like all the statistics shows that, like even the chance of leakage, chance of having any bacterial like usage, any bacterial infections, it's like much, much lower.
Okay, that's great. And the last question that we have from Instagram is, can people with vaginismus use the cup?
I think that is, I'm not sure if I'm qualified to answer it, but vaginism, to my understanding, is a phobia. And I actually think I'm not qualified to answer it. We'll have to like talk to a medical professional, and it's a state of mind. I don't.
Yeah,
it's not state of mind. I can't say much about it because I'm not qualified to say much about it.
Yeah, that's great. So that's all the questions we have from Instagram. If you guys have any questions, you can either put it in the chat box or you can unmute yourselves and start talking. ഇനി ചാറ്റ് ബോക്സിൽ ഇടണ്ട, അങ്ങ് ആർക്കെങ്കിലും ഡൗട്ട് ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ അൺമ്യൂട്ട് ചെയ്തോ, ഡയറക്റ്റ് ആയിട്ട് ചാറ്റിൽ ഇടണ്ട.
Hi Amal.
Hello.
Conversation, but I wanted to know that there is a lot of stigma, related with menstrual cups. Why that stigma is there? It's like it's a long history, we know that, but how do we talk it? We can talk it to our classmates or our friends who have a better understanding about such things. But how do you think we can approach this idea to our parents or to the family members who have a little lesser idea compared to us? So please, can you talk about this?
Okay. I think it is it's also like my limited experience, because even I haven't done much talks, and I really want to talk about menstrual cups, and even I really want to break the stigma. Like I really can't stop talking about periods because of it, because I don't, even with my friends or anyone, I keep on telling like I'm on my period. So I think it's small steps, like with your family also. Maybe trial and error, just just throw the topic in and see how they'll react. Maybe our parents, especially in situations which we don't believe in, they'll be like really supportive. Like suddenly they'll be like all this, like explaining all this, and be like, oh my god, they're actually nice. So that can also happen. So just like try doing it. Like even I brought the menstrual cup, and mom was like, infection, isn't it bad and all that. But I was like, no, I talked to these professionals and they all said it's a good. She was like, okay, then buy one for your sister also. So I think just give it. I mean, just try it. I mean, there's a lot of stigma on this. People don't want to talk about periods. Periods are like a disgusting topic, and it's not about our patriarchal nature, and people like, even it's not also a woman's experience. It's a under huge topic, but people limiting all our experiences and like minimalizing all our experiences. So it's like just start talking. I think just tell people or express in whatever form you can. If you're a good writer or if an artist, just express it. Just keep it out there. Yes, we have periods. We bleed almost every month. I mean, for people who have regular periods, it's sometimes really horrible. We go through a lot, and we should actually have period leave also. Like that should be a thing, especially during exams. I'll be like, I don't want to study, but then I have to study. So I think just like start like telling your coworkers or your best friends, even if they're guys, or just put it out there like, yeah, we have periods and we need these. We need, and like especially like stop telling pharmacies to give you in all wrapped stuff. Like it's a pad, it's a normal thing. It's a part of who we are. Just I think start like this a bit.
Great. Also, to answer that question, I have a small experience, so I thought I'll share it. So when I introduced cup in my home, so my mother had heard about it, but didn't know a lot about it. So I think start by educating them, start by telling them about what it is, how to use it, how good it is for the environment, how eco-friendly it is, how good it is for yourself. നമ്മളിതെല്ലാം പറഞ്ഞ് അവർക്ക് മനസ്സിലാക്കി കൊടുക്കണം, എഡ്യൂക്കേറ്റ് ചെയ്യണം. അതിന്റെ ഫുൾ സാധനം ആദ്യം നമ്മൾ റിസർച്ച് ചെയ്ത് എന്താണെന്ന് മനസ്സിലാക്കിയിട്ട് ഇത് മൊത്തം പറഞ്ഞു കൊടുക്കുക. ആൻഡ് ഇത് നമുക്ക് ഗുണകരമാണ്, എൻവയൺമെന്റിന് ഗുണകരമാണ്, എല്ലാ സൈഡിൽ നോക്കുമ്പോഴും നല്ലൊരു കാര്യമാണെന്ന് കൂടി മനസ്സിലാക്കി കഴിയുമ്പോൾ ഐ തിങ്ക് നമ്മുടെ പേരൻസിനെ അങ്ങനെ പറഞ്ഞ് നമുക്ക് മനസ്സിലാക്കാവുന്ന ഒരു കാര്യമാണ്. അതേപോലെ നമുക്ക് നമ്മുടെ ഫ്രണ്ട്സിനെയും പറഞ്ഞു മനസ്സിലാവും. സോ അങ്ങനെ ചെയ്യാം. ഓൾസോ നമുക്കിനി അടുത്തൊരു ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ ഉണ്ട്, ചാറ്റ് വന്നിട്ടുണ്ട്. Can unmarried students use the cups?
Yes, I am unmarried. And I mean, if it is about like sexual encounters or anything, it's the same concept. I think it's a fear of like losing your virginity. Or I think if you're also talking about whether you had a vaginal penetration, I think it's easy, like as long as you have your periods, like when you start having periods, you can start wearing a menstrual cup. That is like the basic thing. Even my sister is like 15 years old, but even she's going to start using menstrual cup. So as long as you are menstruating, you can use a menstrual cup.
Okay, great. നമുക്ക് ഒരു question വന്നിട്ടുണ്ട്. Can we use lubricants? Because I find it too tight and hurting while inserting. Any problem with using lubricants while inserting the cup?
I actually asked a lot of people about this, but then no one I knew used lubricants. Okay, what I do is okay. Anyways, I'm gonna say it. I have an orgasm. It helps. Okay, it's like because you get wet there when you have an orgasm, and I think, but it also depends. Like, do you know how to have an orgasm and all? And I'm sorry, I don't know much about it, because none of my friends, or I mean, I did ask around a lot of people, do they use lubricants? But most of them, they said like the period blood is enough for them to insert it. So I'm really sorry, I can't help you.
Okay, so നമുക്ക് ഇപ്പൊ ഇത്രയും ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻസ് വന്നിട്ടുള്ളൂ. If anyone has any more questions, അൺമ്യൂട്ട് ചെയ്തിട്ട് ഡയറക്റ്റ് ആയിട്ട് ചോദിക്കാം. ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻസ് ഒന്നും ഇല്ലെങ്കിൽ നമുക്ക് റാപ്പ് അപ്പ് ചെയ്യാം. സോ ഓക്കെ, ഒരു ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ കൂടെ വന്നിട്ടുണ്ട്. Any effective methods to reduce period cramps?
You'll have to ask a gynec.
Okay.
I mean, a lot of people take tablets. I don't. I personally believe don't. I don't know. Like we don't have to like suffer all the cramps, and we don't have to be so sacrificial. For me, I mean, I generally believe even you don't have to suffer all this. Like there are tablets, and they're not like that harmful. Also, even if you take regularly, to my understanding. So I think like, don't suffer. Like find way. It also depends on people. Okay, like for me, binge watching helps. Eating good food helps. So I think you have to find what is your comfortable zone also.
Okay, great. So yeah, we have a new question. Is it necessary to consult a gynecologist before using a menstrual cup?
Okay, this one I can say confidently because I have, even in Delhi University, we had sessions where gynecs also came. That's how I came to know about menstrual cups and all that. Also, even my aunt is also a gynecologist, so like full approval. And a lot of people, even gynecs, are talking about use of menstrual cups. So I don't think, unless you have like medical conditions or something wrong, you should consult a gynec before using it. But then I think this is a total gynec approved product.
Okay, great. അപ്പോൾ any more questions ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ നമുക്ക് ചോദിക്കാം. ഇപ്പൊ ഇത്ര ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻസേ വന്നിട്ടുള്ളൂ. അപ്പോ
എനിക്കൊന്ന് ചോദിക്കാനുണ്ട്. ഓരോ പ്രാവശ്യവും നമ്മള് മെൻസ്ട്രൽ കപ്പ് റിമൂവ് ചെയ്യുമ്പോ അത് വെള്ളം കൊണ്ട് മാത്രം കഴുകിയാ മതിയോ?
Yes. Like in between menstrual cups, you just have to like rinse it with water. ഒന്ന് വെള്ളം വെച്ച് കഴുകി തിരിച്ചിട്ടാ മതി. നമ്മൾ അവസാനം മാത്രമാണ് ലൈക്ക് സ്റ്റെറിലൈസ് ചെയ്തിട്ട് ബോയിൽ ചെയ്യാൻ വെക്കൊക്കെ ചെയ്യേണ്ട ആവശ്യമുള്ളൂ.
ഓക്കെ, താങ്ക് യു.
Another question, like not a question, I want like what are the advice or something like motivation you will give to a person or to a woman who is going to start using her menstrual cup for the first time? Please.
I think take it slow. Like be relaxed. You'll find your body. You'll find it. Like most people do have all these fears and a lot of pain in the starting, like finding how to put it inside. But I think just like you're doing. I mean, just take the risk. I believe it's gonna be fine. I believe how you comfort all other things, how you motivate all the normal ways. Just like see, it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be okay. Like even if it's not okay, also it's fine. We'll shift to some other thing or we'll go back. It's not necessary you have to like wear this. No one is gonna force you unless you're comfortable with it. So that's it.
Thank you, Amal, and everyone who involved in it. It was really helpful and it was joyful event. Thank you.
നമുക്ക് ഒരു ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ ഇൻസ്റ്റാഗ്രാം വന്നിട്ടുണ്ട്. വേറൊരു ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ ഉണ്ട്. ഹൗ മച്ച് ടൈം ഷുഡ് ബി ബോയിൽ ദ കപ്പ്?
10 to 20 minutes. I think it also depends on company to company. I think like some companies tend to boil for 10 minutes, but like 10 to 20 minutes is like minimum.
And
yeah, I forgot something. When you're boiling it or when you're cleaning it, remember there are these air holes, and I can show you in this. But when you have it, there are like air holes in there, like in the rim. Make sure those are clean. Like they're tiny, sometimes you miss it. Like make sure they're like properly clean because filling like pressure, you won't be able to like have the suction properly. So just like remember to clean those air holes also.
Okay, so any more questions? Questions കഴിഞ്ഞെങ്കിൽ നമുക്ക് വൈൻഡ് അപ്പ് ചെയ്യാം. ഓക്കെ, ആർക്കും ഇനി ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻസ് ഒന്നും ഇല്ലാന്ന് വിചാരിക്കുന്നു. ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ ഇപ്പൊ തന്നെ അൺമ്യൂട്ട് ചെയ്ത് ചോദിക്കാം. ബട്ട് ഓക്കെ, we have one more question. Size of cup for 35 plus age?
I think it is like from what all I have read. First of all, check which company you're buying. In that itself, they will tell like if you're like 35 above, or if you had a childbirth, or if you have vaginal penetration. So all this is included. But I think if you had a childbirth, medium, or I think above 35, generally people use medium or like large cup. But it's best that you go to the site which you're buying it, and they'll tell you like how to measure which cup you need.
Also, we have a new question. Can you recommend some companies?
I use Sirona. A lot of my friends use this cup itself, so I can only say that I can't recommend. So as far as I have used this, and all my friends also do not have any problem with it. I think most cups, I think it does not matter the company. I mean, in my opinion, because all are silicon based, and even if you have like, I think uncomfortable with the stem size or something, you can cut it off also. So it's like fine. I mean, I don't think company is a thing. Just make sure it is medical grade silicon. The product is like check the product details.
Okay, we have one more question. How to deal with leaking, or will there be smell issues with menstrual cup?
No, that is what I like. I don't know if you heard it. Our menstrual cups, I mean, our menstrual blood actually has a really bad odor when it is exposed to air mainly. So that's what happens when you wear a pad. So like when it gets exposed, like when it is generally fresh, like it does not smell that bad. So when it gets exposed to air for a lot of time, it starts to smell really bad. And in this, your blood does not get exposed to air at all. It's like it's inside the vaginal canal. You remove it, you just directly flush it. So there is not an issue about odor at all. It smells much lesser. And what do you ask first? Leaking. Yeah. No, if it is properly inserted, like you can actually feel the pressure, like it won't come out unless you break the, like you fold it and break the suction, like break the pressure, if you won't be able to get it out. So if you are wearing it comfortably, if you're wearing it right, there is no issue of leakage. So like in my suggestion, like the first few cycles, until you get comfortable, until you start knowing, okay, this is the correct position, like this is fine, just wear a pad or something until you learn how to use it. I mean, it is very minimal, like compared, not, it's barely there. Like leaking issues are not a thing for menstrual cup.
Okay. Could you also explain again how to remove it?
Okay, so like at folding, I told inserted, you can use whatever shape you want. Like this is supposed to canal and you insert it. So there is a tail and there is like this ridges over here, and generally most cups have it. They have this ridges on the tail. So like you put it inside, fingers inside your vagina, and you press it. So when you press it, the pressure breaks. Like otherwise, it's our pressure, it will be like perfectly fit there. So when you change the shape of the cup, see the pressure breaks, and it's then you like gently start pulling it down. Like don't do it fast, it can hurt you. Just like gently break the pressure and slowly pull it down. Like especially it might hurt a bit because it's once again I will distracted by the question. Yeah, because menstrual cup already we are like in a lot of pain down there. So just be gentle, be relaxed, and just like do it. Don't get scared. That's the main part. I think I saw the question, can we use it during school days? As long as you're menstruating, you can use a menstrual cup. That is like the basis of it. Like whatever age range.
Okay, thank you. Are there any more questions? You can unmute and go ahead.
അപ്പോ എല്ലാ ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻസും ആയോ? സോറി, ഞാൻ ഡിസ്കണക്ട് ആയിപ്പോയി. ഇനി എന്തെങ്കിലും ഡൗട്ട് ആർക്കും എന്തെങ്കിലും ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻസ്? ഓക്കെ, സോ ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻസ് എല്ലാം കഴിഞ്ഞു എന്ന് ഞാൻ വിചാരിക്കുന്നു. അപ്പോൾ നമുക്കിനി വൈൻഡപ്പ് ചെയ്യാം. എന്നാൽ അങ്ങനെ ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ വൈൻഡപ്പ് ചെയ്യാം. ഓക്കെ, സോ അപ്പോൾ ഇന്ന് ഈ ഡിസ്കഷനിൽ വന്ന് ഇത്രയും നേരം ഇത്ര എൻഗേജിങ് ആയിട്ട് നമ്മളോട് സംസാരിച്ച് ഈ ടോക്ക് ഇത്ര അധികം ഇന്ററാക്റ്റീവ് ആയി കൊണ്ടുപോയ അമൽ ഫാത്തിമയ്ക്ക് വളരെയധികം നന്ദി. മൈത്രിയുടെ പേരിൽ ഇവിടെയുള്ള എല്ലാവരുടെയും പേരിൽ ഞാൻ നന്ദി അറിയിക്കും. അതോടൊപ്പം ഇന്നിവിടെ വന്ന് ഈ ഡിസ്കഷനിൽ പങ്കെടുത്ത എല്ലാവർക്കും എന്റെ പേരിലും മൈത്രയുടെ പേരിലും നന്ദി അറിയിച്ചോട്ടുന്നു. സോ ഒരു മോർ പീരിയഡ് അവെയർ ആയിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു വേൾഡ് ഉണ്ടാവട്ടെ എന്നും കൂടി ഞാൻ ആശംസിക്കുന്നു. സോ താങ്ക് യു എവ്രി വൺ ആൻഡ് താങ്ക് യു അമൽ.